This is Dabu 7. If there's one thing I've tried to get people ready for, it is a lights out situation, and I've done so for quite a long time. A lights out situation can happen in many different ways. The sun could cause it to happen, your government could cause it to happen, many different things could go into motion. And we've talked about hackers, regardless of what government is actually behind it. They could bring the grid to a halt and put us in the dark. And above all of these, the scariest has always been the EMP that could take out the full continent, fry everything, leaving everyone in the dark. Now there's talk of another way that this is going to come about. And if we don't change things quickly, they say that this is going to happen by like 2025 and especially by 2030 when they want all of America to be switching over to these EVs, but our grid cannot handle it. Our grid is the most unique and complex ever built in the world. It is a huge network of transmission lines, power plants, and distribution centers. And there's three major grids: the Eastern Grid, the Western Grid, and the ERCOT Grid, otherwise known as the Texas Grid. Of the three, the Eastern Grid is the largest. Although these three grids can operate independently, they're also connected. And a failed grid here means that there's no power for tens of millions of people for prolonged periods of time, where people are put in the dark. And just imagine if this happens in an area like Los Angeles or New York, big cities, for a long time. It's going to happen here at this rate as they're warning, and they start to break down some numbers here. They talk about all the energy that is being consumed, and that by 2025, the United States will have more than 20 million EVs on the road. By 2030, they're saying that more than half of the car sales will be electric. This strain will cripple the power grid, they say. Just to catch up with what the current administration wants us to do, there's some insane loops and hoops that they got to jump through here to make this happen. Even if the United States is able to do this, they're saying there's not going to be enough energy to support all of this. They're going to say that by 2025, according to the American Society of Civil Engineers, the inability of the United States to maintain its many power lines will cost the country nearly $130 billion, to be exact. So, for them to get to this point, across the United States, there are 21 EVs per public charging port. By 2030, to keep up with the EV purchasing trend and what's being forced on the people, the United States must install almost 500 charging ports every single day for the next 8 years. All the way up to 2030, non-stop. Now, does that sound realistic to you? Well, many are warning now that with all this added stress on the grid, you're going to see a disaster. Now, let's just rewind to this past summer. California. They came so close to collapsing their grid there because of the strain of the heat and everyone trying to plug into the grid. Most people trying to charge their vehicle overnight. And look at the story the other day. A guy tried to travel 175 miles. It took him 15 hours. Why? Because you can only drive as far as the car will go. It has to stop and it has to charge. Are people even thinking about this? How much time is going to be spent dead in the water on charging? You're only going to be able to go so far. You're not going to be able to just simply stop at a gas station, fill up, and keep on pushing. It doesn't work like that. Hello, America. You have a new issue in the form of these EVs, and it could cripple the grid. Anyhow, this is some of the latest information. I'll leave a link below. Make sure to join me on the live streams Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Dabu 777. You'll find links below. Hit that subscribe button for more. Much love, y'all.
All right, hey, Shalom, Shalom, Kohalo, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. It's the brother of Baal Gabar from the Camp Prophets in Babylon. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, who do indeed teach and rule, peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad, doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Call her Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Call her Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Right, and you just heard it from Dabu 7. You know, the title of the lesson is Darkness Coming to America, Power Grid Failure. All right, and the one we always talk about concerning the power grid going out is we usually talk about the EMPs, which is pretty much like a nuclear blast that's detonated in the atmosphere that causes an electric magnetic pulse that pretty much shuts down all the grid, okay? And, you know, that's a high possibility as well, all right? And if that were to happen, the lights go out in America, okay? And America runs on two major things, diesel and electricity, all right? Right now, they're telling you you have about 25 days, 20 days left of diesel left here in America, which we got to see how this all plays out. You know, the war in Russia and Ukraine is halting diesel, all right? So, you know, this is it. And now you have talks of, you know, these different electric vehicles coming into play, them trying to get rid of all the gas powered vehicles, move you to the electric vehicles. And they said by what, 2030 or 2025, nearly half of the vehicles will be electric, man. You know, they're getting ready to stop selling these gas vehicles and turn it all to electric, man. All right. You know, and if they have all these cars connected to this grid, that could cause the grid to go out as well. And that's what you heard Dabu 7 talking about. So this is another likely outcome of the grid being crippled. All right, now we understand that this is going to happen regardless, one way or another, whether it's an EMP, whether it's, you know, some type of attack on the grid, whether it's, you know, the electric vehicles taking too much energy in, whatever it is, something major is going to happen, man. That's going to cause this grid to fail. Right, and this is all biblical prophecy, so all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go ahead and jump into the scriptures. Amos 8:11, it says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. All right, so the Lord said, look, this famine that he's going to send is the famine of hearing the words. And primarily, the word is going out by way of the internet, right? The unicorn, you know, which the scriptures talk about the unicorn, which is actually the internet. You know, the Lord say he's going to send a famine of the word. So you're not going to be able to go on the internet and freely access this truth when the grid is off, man. That's why you got to have this knowledge and wisdom and understanding now, because the scriptures say, Isaiah 33:6, for wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. So what's going to keep you stable in these times to come is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, the knowledge and wisdom that you've obtained in this truth, understanding who you are, being Israelites, you know, calling on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, concerning prophecy, future events, you know, including the MOTB, the mark, the charagma. This is what's going to keep you stable, man. But we're entering into a time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. We always talk about the famines, the pestilence, the earthquakes. You know, now add a EMP or a grid outage to where there's no more lights. It's pitch black darkness in America, man. Then you're really going to see the freaks come out at night. All right, then you're really going to see what America is really made of. These people are really made of, man. These Americans. All right, they're going to turn into cannibals, man. They'll start eating each other. All right, robbing each other's food. You know, the only thing that's keeping these Americans at bay or at ease right now, that keeping them cool, is because they can open their fridge. You know, they got a full fridge. A lot of Americans, they got, you know, food in their stomach, got gas in their car. You know, they good. They got jobs. You know, even though a lot of people have lost their jobs, you know, businesses due to the C-19, but nonetheless, people in America live a very comfortable lifestyle. So when things get uncomfortable, it's going to be death and destruction, man. All right, Amos 8:12, it says, and they shall wander From sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. All right, so they're going to be seeking the word of the Lord by what? By way of the internet. But they're not going to be able to find it because something major is going to happen where they going to take down this internet. You know, the way we use the internet today is not going to be how it is forever, man. You know, we're coming into a new age, a new time period where they want to censor anything that's against their agenda, man. You know, and primarily that's, you know, starts with the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, censoring his word, shutting down the grid, however it is. But this is about to take place, man. Right? And now they're saying, okay, well, now if we have all these electric vehicles plugged into the, you know, the charger ports all over the world, that can cause the grid to fail as well. So this place, America, is done, man. You know, Esau is not going to be able to fulfill his enterprise. You know, he wants a new world order. He wants a one world government, religion, all tied under AI, artificial intelligence. So, you know, Esau Edom is done, man. We're at the last few prophecies. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, Shalom. The sister in here, Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Shalom Yakal. Hopeful 144. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. All right. You know, so they talking about, you know, the power grid going out. And you know what? That leads me to this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 15, because there was deep darkness that was a plague that was sent in ancient Egypt. Okay, and the Lord said that he was going to plague modern Egypt, America, with the same plagues as ancient Egypt, man. Even worse. 2nd Ezra 15 and 11, it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm. So the Lord's going to, you know, be with his elect. He's going to gather his elect, even through the time of trouble. All right? The Lord's going to hold his arm out, you know, and help. All right? It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So it says as before. So that's how we know it's not talking about ancient Egypt. This is talking about modern Egypt, America. The Lord say he's going to smite Egypt with plagues, America with plagues, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, and that's how we know this is not talking about ancient Egypt, because that land is still there. All right, now the land that's going to be utterly destroyed, 100% is going to be this land of America when it's hit with the ICBM nuclear missiles. All right, from Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. When they start shooting nuclear missiles at America, it's going to destroy all the land. But even before that, you know, that's the final plague. Even before that, you're going to have the Lord sending different plagues like pestilence, diseases, you know, famines, darkness. That's one of the plagues that came to ancient Egypt, was pitch black darkness, man. So that's what's coming to America too, man. All right. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. All right, so the people of this place, they're going to be mourning. They're going to be catching hell. You know, the Lord's going to pretty much smite the foundation of America with plagues and punishments, man. All right, he's going to destroy this place from the inside out. All right, and the final plague is going to be that nuclear destruction, when all these other nations start raining nuclear missiles on America, man. All right, so let's go to the account, Exodus 10 and 21, one of the plagues that was sent in Egypt, right? It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven. Okay, so Moses, he has spiritual power, which that spiritual power is coming as well to the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the elect. The Lord said he's going to give power to his elect. But Moses, at this time, Moses had power. All right, the Lord was dealing with Moses directly. All right, so the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. So this darkness is so dreadful and so, terrible, that this darkness can be felt, man. That's how pitch black. You ever been somewhere so dark that, you know, you start getting, your hair starts sticking up on your arms, or you start getting goosebumps or whatever? You know, that's the darkness that was happening in Egypt, man. You know, you could light a match and you couldn't even see the match lit in front of you. That's how dark it was, man. Even a match couldn't light the room. All right, a candle. All right, the darkness would just overtake that. It says, even darkness which may be felt, and Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Okay, so it was thick darkness in the land of Egypt for 3 days. It says, they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. 3 days straight. You don't see nobody. It says, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Okay, and what's that light? This truth. The understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, the Lord's gonna guide us. He's gonna walk us, you know, in darkness, so to say. This is the precept, Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. All right, so the children of Israel during that plague of darkness in ancient Egypt, they had light in their dwellings. Okay, the Lord was with them. All right, but as for the Egyptians, the heathens, they were getting plagued, man. And that's the same thing that's going to happen again, man. You know, if pitch black darkness was to come to America today, tomorrow, guess what? The Lord will have it to where his elect have light in their dwellings, man. One way or another. All right? Let me go ahead. I'll close it out with this scripture. I'm not going to make this lesson too long. You know, we're entering into Jacob's trouble. Brothers should know the scriptures about Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Daniel 12 and 1. A time like never before seen on earth. This is what's coming, man. All right. You got, you know, 400 million people here in America. However, whatever number it is. Hundreds of millions of people here in the land of America. When the lights go out, what are they going to do? They're going to fucking lose it, man. All right, and that's gonna be anarchy, chaos, you know, an apocalyptic event, so to say. All right, on top of the earthquakes, the diseases, on top of the famine, you know, on top of the civil wars, the wars going on all over the earth. So this is it. You know, this is the final. This is the final call, so to say. But it says, Isaiah 24 and 10, the city of confusion is broken down. What's the city of confusion? America. Okay. Mystery Babylon the Great, spoken of in Revelation. Babylon actually comes from the Hebrew word Babel, which means confusion. So this city of America, which is the city of confusion, is being broken down every single day. It says every house is shut up that no man may come in. Right. And you got a little taste of that during the lockdown. Right. But we're coming into another lockdown. It's going to be different lockdowns. Climate lockdowns. Okay? They just pulling lockdowns out of their asses now. You know, different. They trying to lock you in your room. In your 10 by 10 room. In the metaverse, man. You know. Tracking your carbon footprint, man. You know, with digital technology under your skin, man. They want to turn people into robots, man. Perfect slaves. And you got your everyday Americans just, you know, looking for his next 25-cent raise, man. You know, these Americans are bugging the fuck out, man. Isaiah 24 and 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. If the grid goes out, all the major stores, they're done. All right? All that food is done. No more diesel. Which they're talking about a diesel shortage. There's no more diesel, you got no more trucks. No more trucks, you got no more medicine. No more medicine, you got people dying. No more food, you got people starving. All right? It says there is a crying for wine in the streets. And this wine represents knowledge and answers. People are going to be seeking for answers. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So all the joy and happiness and, you know, do as thou wilt, live your best life every single day. All of that mirth is going to be gone. It's done. It says, in the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So this place is about to be destroyed utterly, man. All right. So, you know, the famine of the word is coming. Darkness, pitch black darkness, plagues, pestilence, diseases is coming to the land of America, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect. The Lord said he would be with us, man. All right. Let me grab this. This is Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. All right, so the Lord is going to, guide us, man. He's going to be with us, man. All right. So with that, call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom to the brothers and sisters, Zion Library. Shalom, shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Till next time I say, shalom.